Did I get that load through to Maryland? It's been some really extreme winter weather. This is part 3, right, of this story, bringing this load of Idaho potato goods across the country to Maryland. My name is Kevin. I'm a solo driver for CRETE Carrier, and you're watching The Joy of Trucking. So let me go back to the beginning here. On Thursday last week, I had a live load in Idaho Falls, 10 o'clock in the morning. This run was 2,200 miles across the country, all the way to Maryland, and had to be there Monday morning for 6 a.m. for another live unload. Before I even set out, I was checking the weather, and I could see that it was really bad. They were calling for all that Arctic air coming down, and lots of snow and lots of wind and wind chill factors all over the place. And the original route solution that I got with the load had me just leaving Idaho Falls and going right across I-80 through Nebraska and then into Iowa and then just underneath Chicago all the way into Ohio before I get down to I-70 that would take me into Maryland. So in light of the weather, the way it was looking, I mean, Chicago was calling for huge snowfalls and really, really cold temperatures. I decided to cut down to I-70 from Lincoln down to Kansas City and follow I-70 across to Maryland, which would take me out of the more severe parts of the storm. I was still going to see some of it, but it wouldn't be as bad. And I was hoping I could get through without having to shut down, you know. Off I go on Thursday. Made it as far as Cheyenne, Wyoming. Driving I-80 through Wyoming is usually pretty tricky when the weather's like that, because the wind is blowing snow across the highway and creating ice patches all over the place. I didn't see any trucks in the ditch. Nobody was going off the road. We were all keeping the speed pretty civil. Made it all the way to Cheyenne without any mishap. And the next day, Friday, took off and got as far as Aurora, Nebraska. And I got a call actually from dispatch, and they're in Lincoln, and they were saying everybody's getting shut down from Grand Island, Nebraska, all the way over to Iowa because it's snowing like crazy, and the wind is blowing it into drifts and everything. And I had noticed the wind was blowing some snow across the highway at that point, but the sun was still shining on me. Well, by the time I got to Grand Island, it was snowing pretty good, and I pulled over right after that. I was going to stop at the rest area there, but it was actually closed, so I went to the Loves in Aurora and parked there just in time because it was getting really cold, and then the snow started coming down like crazy. Basically, at 2:30 in the afternoon on Friday, I was shut down. And the company even sent a message saying, shut it down, the weather's really bad. And because of that, of course, you're going to get the inclement weather pay, which they just started this year. I was going to get something for that, but I was losing time on my run. So the next morning, I got going at 8 o'clock. It was actually sunny. The sun had just come out, actually blue sky above me, even though it had just been snowing. It kind of passed to the east. So I took off, and I was kind of following that snowstorm all the way through, got down to Kansas, and still was seeing it just in front of me, but it wasn't snowing on me. So I kept going all the way across Missouri and into Illinois. Made it to the Loves there in Greenville, stopped for the night, and the next morning got going again and made it all the way to Cumberland, Maryland. Some, 660 miles that day. Sunday night. So I only had 120 miles left to go, and the temperature was actually picking up. So Sunday night, low 20s. There was still windy and making it feel colder, but it was a lot better than minus 25 and minus 30 that I'd been dealing with. So very happy that I could actually get that far. Now, my appointment time was 6 o'clock Monday morning, and because of the delay and because I'd been going pretty slow actually on some days, even like 40, 50 miles an hour, because of the way the snow was kind of drifting on the road, and sometimes visibility got bad. I kept slowing it down if I had to. And then in Maryland, of course, I was going up and down some pretty steep hills, so that was slowing me down a bit too. So on Saturday, I knew I wasn't going to make a 6 o'clock appointment. I figured 9:30 was the best I could do, and I sent a message on Saturday. And then as I got closer, I revised that. So I sent a message on Sunday saying my ETA is 8:30 on Monday morning. And usually what happens then is they contact the customer and tell them, this is the time the driver will get there, and they give you a new appointment. And I got a message back Sunday saying the customer service representative had reached out to the customer, and we had not heard back yet about the new ETA. So okay. So Monday morning, after 2,200 miles in terrible conditions, I get there at 7:45 in the morning. And got to the guard shack at the entrance, and the guard said, well, you just, he takes your phone number and all the information. He said, just go park on the street with all those other guys, and they'll phone you and give you a dock number. And just as I was pulling away, they called me and gave me a dock. So at 8 a.m., I'm at the dock. Doors open, wheels chalked, everything. I brought the paperwork in. The girl says, we will call you when we're all done and your paperwork's ready. I said, okay. So sat in the truck for a couple of hours waiting, and then I get a text, and it said, your accessorial invoice is ready. Please pay this online. Click the link below. And I thought, well, this sounds a little weird. I didn't recognize the phone number. Maybe it's one of those phishing scams or something like that. trying to get my social security number, right? Well, I clicked on the link, and it said CRETE Carrier, and it had the load number, and it said accessorial fee $105. So I thought, now how am I going to pay that, and exactly what is this all about? So I called Lincoln and told them about it. And they said, well, we'll have to get with the customer service rep and see what this is about. We don't know anything about accessorial fees. And they would send me a message. I said, okay, I'll sit tight. Then I get another text. And this text says, your lumper fee invoice is ready. Please click on the link below and pay the bill. So I clicked on that link. It was $215 for a lumper fee. So I called Lincoln back. I says, okay. Looks like now there's a lumper fee too. So this one's $215. And he said, okay, well, they're going to send you code numbers for the payment, and you punch those in and it'll be covered. I said, all right. So I got off the phone with him, and I started getting these messages, and then I get a phone call from the receiver. So this is the one I'd actually been waiting for. And she's like, you have to move your truck. We need that dock. Go park out on the street and pay those invoices before you come and get your paperwork. I said, oh, okay. What is accessorial fees? What's that all about? Oh, she says, well, that's your late fee. You got here at 7:45. Your appointment was at 6. So there's a charge for that. I said, oh. Started punching in. I pulled up the numbers and everything, and I wasn't sure exactly how to do this, because I've only had to pay lumper fees like once or twice before in 2.5 years. And this link they gave you, it says it's like a third-party billing thing. So I go on it, and it says, you have a code number, but is it a mobile pay? Is it a bank account number? Is it an EFS? And there's like 10 different options there. I wasn't sure which one I was supposed to put the number in. So I had to call Lincoln again and say, what exactly am I doing? I don't want to put it in the wrong box and then cause a bunch of confusion. They said, put it in the EFS box. So it was an EFS payment number. I said, great, I'll take care of that. So I did it for both the invoices. I had 2 separate numbers, and had to wait while it verified the payment, and the little thing was spinning around. Okay, finally it's all good. And so I closed the trailer doors and noticed that the trailer wasn't exactly clean. I mean, for $215, you think they'd clean the damn trailer too. I mean, I'm paying these lumpers. They work for me, right? No. Anyway, I go in, get the bill. It's all signed and everything. I do my paperwork, and I'm out of there. So that's great. Got her all done. So I will say it's only 25 degrees here right now in Maryland, but it's supposed to snow all night. And I guess that means we're not quite done with all this winter weather right now. It's the middle of January, and it's pretty severe. I hear it's even snowing in Nashville, and it's going to snow in Atlanta. Wow. That doesn't happen very often. So this was a great run. I had a long miles, lots of driving, so good money in that. And it's good to know that CRETE was very supportive and was looking out for us and making sure that we shut down when things were bad. And they tell you, if it's not safe and you don't think it's safe to drive, you go ahead and shut down and just communicate. Just let us know what's going on. So that's great. And now you got the inclement weather pay on top of that. Fantastic. So everything's good. turned out great. Now I'm just waiting on my next load, and off we go. So happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and you all be safe out there, and remember, check the weather wherever you're going. Include that in your trip planning. Give us a thumbs up, comments down below. Appreciate a little pat on the back for getting this one through. And hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, and we'll see you down the road. Bye for now.
Good job, Kevin. And hey, if you decide to drive for Crete and our videos have been helpful to you, please be so kind and use our referral code SLOKEV. We would really appreciate it. Thank you and have a great day. With love from Kevin and Tanya. Bye.